Yes, this is the Just Know It Sports Show. Y'all come on in there and have a seat. Tell us about it. Tell us about it, what it do on that Friday night. Don't forget to check us out every Friday night. You know what it is. Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Wherever you get your boogie on, wherever you get your podcast, all that stuff. Slide on over to the YouTube channel and get down with us, man. We back in it. Doc Jones, the producer. DJ Coach King Drake holding it down, man. The road
Boy,
to the
you threw
national
all that
championship.
together.
College football madness is about to take off. It still
Man.
can't touch. It still can't touch college basketball. I don't care what nobody say. But here we are with the big Power Five. Championships is going down. Playoff hides on the line. Tell me about it, man.
Man, I'll tell you this, man. It's about to be real chaotic, brother. Real chaotic, man. It's all kind of crazy stuff that can actually happen, man. You got Georgia at number 1. You got Michigan at number 2, TCU at number 3, and USC at number 4. And none of the championship games have yet to be played. And that's the crazy scenario. And here's the crazy part about it. You got Ohio State and Alabama sitting right there at 5 and 6. And they have a chance to get back into the playoff championship, man. That's crazy. You don't think that's crazy?
It is crazy, especially with Alabama. But
right,
I mean, you know what it is with Alabama. Alabama, they drop, and if it's a chance they can get in that Sugar Bowl, then the revenue speaks for itself. They travel well, and they usually take over the Sugar Bowl, the Superdome. Well, not the Superdome anymore, but they usually take over New Orleans pretty well. So if it's a chance they can sneak it, Alabama can slide up in that thing, and they can make some money and get them back in the playoffs. Oh yeah, they're gonna make it happen. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
Dude, what if here's the part that had me thinking this could possibly be chaotic is the way LSU had turned it on at the end and got real hot. And then they went and laid a lame duck effort against the Texas A&M Aggies, and that kind of just blew my mind. I was like, what? Are y'all serious? Like, y'all are right here. And I'm thinking like, okay, maybe LSU gonna really turn it up and they might give Georgia a run. In my head, I'm kind of scared. Like I was scared, like, okay, this might be the chaos. If LSU can knock off Georgia, how far would they drop? Maybe they drop them to number 4.
Kind of made me think somebody took a little paycheck or either, Texas A&M. That's what they do. They show up and it was the last game of the year, and of course they want to play like the 2001 Miami Hurricanes and just messed everything up. I guess if you're an LSU fan. So, with that being said, Georgia and Michigan are locks. Like, there's nothing in my eyes. Michigan can go out there and sit everybody down and lose 47-0. They still deserve a spot.
Why you think they'll get in?
Because they beat Ohio State, and that's it. We knew this. We was talking about this back in September. It was like, look, it's all going to come down to Michigan and Ohio State. The winner of that game.
We knew that was going to happen.
Regardless of what happens in the conference championship game, it's a lot. Only thing that can happen to Michigan is they can slide from 2 to 4, and Georgia can slide from 1 to 3. But both of those teams can go out there and lose by 40 and rest all their players, and still, like, you can't put a 2-loss Alabama in. TCU could jump up.
So here's the question: you're saying you can't put TCU is already there. So what happens if TCU and USC both lose? Then what? Because you got an 11-1 Ohio State, you got a 10-2 Alabama. What happens?
I would go with Ohio State, and TCU would still get in. It would be TCU. It would be TCU, Georgia, Michigan, and Ohio State. Okay, I wouldn't put it out. Me personally, Alabama, you lost, bro. Like,
yeah, I don't think a 2-loss Alabama team deserves to get in.
No, I don't think they deserve to get in. Like, you lost.
We know how they like to do. We know how they like to treat Nick Saban, man. They treat him like royalty out there. So it don't matter. They'll find a way to get him in.
Okay, but you got to look at it like this: which program generates the most money for college football?
Hey, I get it. I know it's all about the money, and that's why I said that the system they have is okay. It's still not as great as it could be.
And especially with the NIL now, players making more money. These colleges, like, they're not going to take that just laying down. Well, I'm not going to say they're losing money, but they're not as heavy in the pocket as they used to be. So if a team travels, kind of like Odessa Permian does in high school football, they come everywhere. Alabama's going pretty much everywhere. As long as it's in the South, Alabama's going everywhere. So, I mean, if I was on a bowl committee and it was like, okay, TCU, Alabama, TCU, Alabama, and they both had one loss, I'm probably going Alabama. But Alabama has two losses, and I'll go ahead and say it, TCU probably should be a lock too. What's up for grabs is basically if one of those teams should fall, Michigan, Georgia, TCU, what happens with Ohio State? And if USC should fall, then Ohio State will slide in. Because
So
at that point.
So you're saying this. So I'm gonna put this out here. So if Michigan or Georgia loses a game, and TCU and USC both win, does Ohio State get to get in?
Run that by me again.
So if Georgia and Michigan, either one of them both lose, does Ohio State get a chance to get in? Or are you still saying both of them are locked in no matter what?
No, they're locked in. The only way I see Ohio State getting in is if Southern California loses to Utah, which they have lost, I think, the last 4 games.
Before. Yeah, they lost before. So
now here's the interesting thing about the Big 12 championship game. TCU was down 28-10 versus Kansas State. Kansas State, pretty good team.
And they had to storm back.
And they stormed back. They had to come back. I'm not going to go out and say Kansas State's going to win that, but it wouldn't surprise me if Kansas State won it. Now, with that being said, is that enough to sway the voters between Ohio State and TCU? That could possibly be a problem, but just based off of TCU being, undefeated and making it to the conference championship game, I mean, I believe that if you run the table and make it to a conference championship game, it's basically a bye, And until we get 2 undefeated teams in a conference championship game, then the conference championship game is Nick Saban. He found a loophole. It's basically like a hole in it. And Georgia did the same thing last year. They ran the table, got to the SEC championship, kind of went vanilla, and Alabama beat them by 10, 13 points, and they knew they was going to get in. So they all hands on deck when the championship game came around. But let's take a look at that game, though, TCU and Kansas State. Like I said, Kansas State was up. TCU been the comeback kings this season. There's a couple of games. Oklahoma State. There's a couple of games like, oh, yeah, TCU done. Get them out here. And I kept picking against TCU, and they kept coming back to win. So even if they down 21-3 in the first quarter, I ain't going to put it past them to come back. But I'm going to go with the Frogs on that one. I think it's a team of destiny. I think they're going to make it to the playoffs. They're going to make it to the playoffs this year. I think they beat Kansas State again. They've
been a real exciting team to watch all season long, man. So
definitely,
shout out to them, man. Good job. Who you rolling
with on that one?
I'm going with TCU, man. Like at the end of the day, I'm taking all the top-notch hitters. The only game that I'm kind of iffy about is the USC Utah game. I'm definitely taking Georgia. I'm definitely taking Michigan. And again, on the Michigan game, I got to shout out my guy Nick Carraway. He's number 5 playing for Purdue. Straight out of Bryan College Station, the 979. He went to Bryan High. He's a Bryan High graduate. Shout out to you, boy, Nick Carraway, Purdue Boilermaker, number 5. I'm still picking Michigan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Michigan in that one. I'm gonna go with Michigan in that one. Purdue hadn't really showed me too much to like hoop and holler to think they should win this game. I'm gonna go with Michigan just off the strength of Michigan's a better ball club. Now, Michigan, with them being a lock, they very well could just go vanilla and just be like, you know what?
Just be average.
Yeah, that's just the play, and we're just gonna run with it. But I'm gonna go with Michigan on that one. I'm gonna go with Georgia over LSU. I don't think LSU really has much to play for. They're not going anywhere.
I was about to say that. That game kind of went down the drain when they lost to the Aggies. It's kind of like, all right, y'all, whatever.
Yeah, they screwed the pooch on that one. So give me the Dogs, give me the Wolverines, give me the Frogs. USC has not been able to. I remember we had that game earlier this year, and I went Trojans, and they came back Something's
They
telling
beat them
me.
by a point, man. They beat them by one stinking point.
Something is telling me.
I feel like USC gonna win this game. They
Something,
do for a win, man. They do for one.
something telling me USC gonna lose, and we're gonna end up with Ohio State Michigan semifinal. Number one, well, no, that wouldn't be a semifinal because if Georgia wins, then it would be a 2 versus
Yeah.
3. So we wouldn't get that semifinal. But something tells me that USC is gonna lose, and I want to see Caleb Williams do his thing. I like what USC is doing, but they just don't have. Utah just got their number, and Utah's kind of one of those teams that was like, okay, they look good against Florida. They fell in the swamp, and it was like they'll bounce back. It was ACC team, and then they took a couple losses they shouldn't have lost, but they did eventually fight back, and here they are. I'm going Utah on that one. I want to see USC get it done, but I'm gonna go Utah on that one, man. So I think we're looking at a Georgia, TCU, Michigan, and Ohio State college football Final Four playoffs. I think that's what that is. You got my picks right there,
man. Ooh. Everything in me is saying USC is gonna get this win because they do for a win over Utah, man. They do for one.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Against my better judgment, I'm gonna take the Trojans.
You gonna take the Trojans? All right.
Take the Trojans, man. I got to, man. I think they're gonna get it done. I think it's gonna be a very scrappy game. I think it's gonna be a back and forth game. It's gonna be a pretty even game, and they're just gonna find a way to get it done. I think it's gonna happen this time, man. It's gonna happen at the right time. Sometimes it's timing. We couldn't beat you early on, but we got it when it counted. And I think USC is gonna get it when it counts, and this really counts. This is it. This is for all the chips right here.
That's it. It's going down. It's going down, and just like that, after this week, basically we got 50,000 bowl games that don't mean nothing, and then we'll have the semifinals and the national championship, and bam, college football is done. Them boys get in there, they make it happen, and they get on up out of there. But
yeah, that's one thing I don't like about the college football system is all the whack, trash, terrible bowl games.
Yeah,
are you serious? Man, we got the chicken and grits bowl game and oodles and noodles bowl.
Oodles and noodles, and it's just like it's ridiculous. And I've always
it used to mean something back in the day, man. And to me, it just means nothing.
My sentiment has always been, why is the championship game played on a Monday,
right?
And then you got like 2 additional, like the Orange and Sugar Bowl
after the championship game.
Like I don't get that. Like the champion, you don't have the Super Bowl and then have week 18 or the wild card play-in in the NFL. You don't have the NBA finals and then a play-in tournament. College football has some serious fixing to do, and I hope they get it right. But the NFL got it right. We got the 49ers and the Dolphins.
Ooh-wee.
That's going to be a good one. 49ers beat up, though. It seemed like the 49ers, they caught a little momentum. Everybody was getting healthy. They bring in Christian McCaffrey, so Jimmy G can basically throw the ball 6 yards, and everybody else can take out run. Another weapon to where Jimmy G just basically has to throw the ball 5 yards because Kittle going to take out running. Debo going to take out running. Ayuk is going to catch and run, and Christian McCaffrey is going to catch and run. And then everybody goes and gets hurt. You know what I mean? Christian McCaffrey, he's hurt. Elijah Mitchell, the backup running back, which was to add depth to McCaffrey just in case McCaffrey got hurt. He's out 6 to 8 weeks.
Let's hit the pause button on McCaffrey. Let's not act like he's an every down back and he ain't,
he hurt.
Doesn't have the potential to get hurt.
I watched the game against the Saints. I mean, the Saints have a good defense. They're very good against the run. They have a physical defense. But the 49ers, they won 13-0, but they got beat up. A lot of people got hurt on defense. A lot of people got hurt on offense. So, and the Dolphins, 2 of them, they out there doing things.
They lighting it up, man.
They lighting it up.
Tyreek Hill surprised me, man. He's got over 1,200 yards receiving, man. I'll be honest with you, I didn't see that coming. I figured he would be around 8, maybe 9, not 12. So that means he's gonna get more. I figured he would finish about 8, 9, just because we didn't, I didn't expect him to do that. So he's got over 1,200 yards. I think he's got about 6 touchdowns. And I can't think of the other guy's name right now. It's going to come to me. I'm having a brain freeze, but he's got about 900 yards himself.
Waddle.
So, Waddle. There it is. He's got about 900 yards too. I think he has Waddle has 6 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill has 4 touchdowns. And Tua, he's only thrown 3 interceptions, man. I think it's like 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So the offense is booming right now. So I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna keep it all the way 1,000. I'm gonna roll with the Dolphins, man.
I'm gonna roll with the Dolphins on this one too. I think the 49ers are a little too beat up, and this one's in. Wait a minute. I think this one's in Cali. Might make a difference, but
I think the offense is gonna be clicking. They're gonna be clicking, man.
Yeah, this is in Cali, man. You know what? I'm gonna switch my pick. Give me the Niners in this one. I'm gonna take the Niners in this one. This is Cali, late start.
Staying with the fans, man.
I'm gonna pick them Niners. They're a little beat up, but I like what San Francisco's doing on defense, and I think they get after a while a little bit. They still got their good defensive line, and they still got Tafanga is making good plays, and the linebacker core I think is one of the best in the league. Well, we got the G-men and the Commanders.
Ooh,
that's gonna be a tough one, and they did.
Man,
Washington did a horrible disservice to the late great Sean Taylor. Rest in peace. I don't know what the hell that was, but Washington, you should be ashamed of yourself. That was absolutely disgusting. The Giants, they look like they're about to fall off. And here's the deal with Heineke. He's not a top 20 quarterback, but he's a starting quarterback. And I think the team responds better to Heineke than they did with Carson Wentz. And this is my thing. This is the whole point I'm trying to make, like with the whole Trey Lance thing, situation, Justin Fields thing. Like some players, the team just responds to better. Like the Eagles honestly knew they made a mistake with Carson Wentz when Nick Foles took them to the Super Bowl. And then Carson Wentz comes back the next year, they struggle. And the Eagles almost made it back to the NFC Championship with Nick Foles. I think the team responds better with Heineke than they would with any other. So at that point, you see that, okay, this guy looking like he's going to get us to the playoffs 2 out of 3 years. Like, why are you trying to bring in this high-priced veteran to do whatever? And I think the Giants are about to fall off. I'm going to go with the Skins on this. I think the Skins stay hot. Give me the Skins 21, give me the Giants 16.
See, it's kind of hard. See, y'all, it's kind of hard. It's still in us, because we come from that era. The Skins. He's taking the Commanders, for those that didn't know. He's taking the Commanders. And, I have to say, I want to hop on the Commanders bandwagon with you, man. They're really balling. And right now, the Giants are just, they I don't know. They wishy-washy. It looks like they're gonna be like, okay. Out of nowhere, here comes some bonehead and what in the hell is going on? And oh my God,
all types of tomfoolery. And then we got another one. The Eagles still 1 loss. The Commanders took care of that undefeated. 72 Dolphins can still celebrate. But they got the Titans coming in. The Titans, they kind of concern me. Like, we know what King Henry going to do. He's going to pretty much pound you in the mush meat. I did not expect them to lose against Cincinnati last week. Cincinnati pretty much handled them. The Eagles, if it's one place the Eagles are good at, it's against the run. They went and got Ndamukong Suh. They went and got Lindell Joseph. They're still waiting on Jordan Davis to come back. They still got Fletcher Cox, so they got like a ton of depth at the 2-tech and the A-gap defensive tackle position. That's a ton of depth, and if you can't run the ball, if you're the Titans, then you are in trouble. On the strength of that, with being said, I don't think they stymie Derrick Henry. I can see him probably getting 75, 80 and a touchdown just because he's 6'5", 265 pounds and run a 4.40. But can they make enough plays in the passing game? Absolutely not. The Eagles are a running team themselves, and Jalen Hurts is doing his thing. AJ Brown, former Titan, he may have a little blood, little red, little blood. We may want a little blood after he left Tennessee. But I'm gonna go with the Eagles with this one. I think the Eagles get it done by 10, giving the Eagles 27, giving the Titans 17 on that one.
Not so fast, my friend.
Okay.
As I'm looking here, I'm looking at my man Ryan Tannehill, 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, a little under 2,000 yards passing. Jalen Hurts, 17 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 2,500 yards plus passing. It's not too far off, man. Not too far off. Derrick Henry over 1,000, 10 touchdowns. Sanders he's got 908 touchdowns.
Okay.
So it seems like a pretty even team.
Okay.
But here's the one difference. Defense, man. Defense. And with that being said, I feel like the Eagles have the better defense, and I'm going to trust the Eagles defense to maintain Derrick Henry, because I don't think they're going to stop him. I think they'll maintain him. Like, he ain't going. I don't think he's putting up 200 yards rushing against them. But if you're asking Tannehill to beat you, yeah, I ain't buying that. I ain't buying that box at all.
Yeah,
you keep that box of candy in your candy bag. I ain't selling it over here. So I'm gonna go with the defense of the Eagles to beat the Titans.
Yeah, I'm not buying Tannehill either. He made his fortune made his name kind of like Kirk Cousins did.
Hold on, Doc. I ain't gonna put Tannehill in that boat with Kirk Cousins.
I'm saying he made his money. Remember when he was with Miami in his first year, he threw for like 4,000 yards, but Miami was like 5-11 or 6-10. It was like, oh, look, Tannehill, he's throwing for 4,000 yards. And they was getting beat 55-0 at halftime. And the defense basically went cover 4 and gave up 15, 20-yard passes in the second half because they just didn't want to get bombed to death. That's kind of how Kirk Cousins did the same thing. Like the Commanders were in Washington.
Yeah, he hustled the NFL.
Hustled them.
Hustled the NFL for real.
So yeah, I'm not sold on Tannehill, and they're gonna need a monster game from Derrick Henry, and I just don't think they can get that done against the Eagles, not that defense. I don't see that happening. Juice Man slid us in his picks. He's on assignment. Juice Man said he's rolling with the 49ers, the Commanders, and the Eagles. And he's pretty much with that. That's what he said he's rolling with. So yeah, I think it looked like me, the Juice Man, pretty much is on the same, same path with that one, man. But kidding him, man.
Oh God! Hold on, I think Greasy going with he got the Niners.
Oh yeah.
The Niners, the Commanders, and I'm almost for sure the Eagles.
Gotcha.
So I'm the lone wolf today.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the lone wolf today, but yeah, you were opening up a door that is as a parent, man, you would never want to hear anything like that about your kid.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that's even worse about it is that, he's a former NFL. So, they're going to lead with that.
Mm-hmm.
Former NFL quarterback John Kitna's son. So it's like, dang, bro, that's like ultimate hurt right there, man. But guess what? You do stupid things, you win stupid prizes.
Yeah, he should go to
prison. Can't feel sorry for you, man. I'm sorry.
He should go to prison, not jail.
Can't feel sorry for you, man.
He should be in prison. He should be in prison. He should go straight to prison, man. As I look across the ticker, Thursday night, number 2 Texas Longhorns host the number 7 Creighton Blue Jays in college basketball. And I know college football is king, and we know the NFL is king. But you cannot convince me that the NFL and that college football is a better product than college basketball. And with the NIL, college basketball is about to take off, because now You can stay in college and make your money. Like 2 players from North Carolina team that went to the national championship game decided to come back, and that's huge. That's huge to me. And like the whole top 10 basically has 2 losses, folks. And we just made it out of November. Like it's crazy to see Gonzaga versus Texas. It's crazy to see Ohio State versus Duke.
We've already seen Duke and Kansas duel it out.
Yeah,
That
we've
was
seen
like week 2.
we've seen Kentucky and Gonzaga. We've seen Kentucky. Kentucky's playing Michigan in London next week. It's just they got it right. They got it right. They got it right. They
And I don't
give
care
you
what anybody says, man. March Madness. I would rather watch March Madness than to watch the NBA playoffs.
the NBA
I didn't
players.
say the NBA finals.
Right.
Final. I'm talking
Right.
about the actual playoffs.
The NBA.
March Madness all day. The atmosphere, the games. Everybody is playing with passion. Everybody's playing with pride. Everybody is playing for something. Ain't nobody taking no breaks.
Ain't nobody taking no breaks. And to have this many top 25 battles within a 3-week span, where in college football, you may have to wait. You may get one
It's
week.
like you're gonna get one good game opening week, or it might even be good. It might just be subpar.
Yeah. And
Then
then
the
they,
second week you'll get a game or two.
yeah.
It's
And
not
then
until
they,
like week 3, then you start getting some real.
Good
Okay,
games.
all right.
and then they kind of spoon feed you a little bit of here and there. And then it's like, oh, the SEC. And then they shove every last single one of those games down your throat. So, I mean, it's just kind of like, I just think college basketball got it right. I just think they got it right. And then, like, it's just amazing that they throw that at just like, we finna give y'all March Madness in November. And then we'll have the conference games. And then March Madness is March Madness. I was looking at some of our numbers, and we got an anchor, or we got a Spotify wrap up today. Showed our top shows and stuff like that, and how what everybody was jumping on, and they like the college basketball show, and I just think college basketball got it right.
Here's what I think about it, though. Here's what I think about it. Truly, the thing about college basketball is, I really honestly feel like the politics is out of it. You can't politic. You can't politic when number 2 is playing number 5, second week of the season. How do you politic that?
Okay.
You cannot. You got to remove the politics, because all the top 25, they're bound to play each other. They're going to play each other before the halfway point of the season.
They give it to you right off. They give it to you right off the rip before they even get
in college football. You can't come out with number 1 versus number 5 and number 5 versus number 10 and 10 versus 18 and all them games. They'll be forever shuffling who's number 1, who's number. Yeah, because they politicking.
Before they even
politicking these spots.
Before they even get to the conference play in college basketball, it's going down. It's just
that's what I'm saying.
It's going down. Like, I think it was like, okay, the Maui Invitational was going down during Thanksgiving. Okay, the day before Thanksgiving, they had their tournament. Immediately after the Maui Invitational, they had some type of coaches versus something challenge on some Navy base, and Purdue immediately goes out and beat North Carolina and Duke and won the championship. And then, like 2 days later, they playing in some other fight against something, maybe the Jimmy V class. I can't even remember the name of it. Purdue goes and beats the brakes off Gonzaga. Gonzaga played Kentucky. Kentucky got stomped. Texas stomped Gonzaga. Somebody just beat the brakes off Baylor. Shout out to the Houston Cougars, number 1 team in the nation. First time since 1983 and 5 Slammer Jammer. But I'm looking forward to college basketball. Like I say, that's
yeah, it's definitely the thing. What's up, fellas? I see y'all in the building, man.
What's going on, man?
What it do?
What's happening?
Hey, Greasy, I slid your picks in, man, for the I gave you the 49ers, the Commanders, and dang, my brain is falling out right now. I'm sleeping. What's going on?
Eagles? Or
Yeah.
the Titans?
Yeah,
The Eagles?
Yeah, I
I
got
gave
the
the
Eagles.
Eagles, Commanders, and 49ers.
That's what I got too. That's
Yeah.
what I got.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just in here chopping it up, man, and we looking forward to the college football championships this weekend, and just basically just run through the NFL, and we talked a little bit about John Kitna's son,
Hey, now hold on, wait, Doc.
who should
You
be
talked
heading to
about 10
prison.
seconds about John Kidner.
Well, yeah,
John,
well,
hold on, my bad. Let's correct that. John Kidner's son.
yeah, he should, like I said, he should go to prison, man. He should be on his way. He should be in orange right about now, on the back of the chain.
Hey,
He
and
should be
why
in
is that? What
orange.
happened? Do you know what happened
Wait,
to him?
I don't
Was it
know what. I
possession
what
of
did
don't know.
child porn?
what did
Yeah,
John Kitna's son do?
possession of child porn.
Oh no, yeah, he needs to go. He needs to go for a long time, man.
He like I told him, he should be on the back. He should be on the chain in the chains right now. He
Oh
won't.
man,
Hey,
That's
two counts,
ridiculous.
two counts
that's
of distribution of
ridiculous.
child, 2 counts of exploitation.
No, man.
Three counts of possession of child pornography.
Prison.
That's ridiculous.
Come
man.
on, man. That boy's a predator.
Exactly.
Prison.
Ran on the
Golly,
gun.
man.
That's ridiculous. That's
Prison.
just. I'm like Doc. She had an orange jumper on. I'm gonna go and play jury and executioner. Nah,
Yeah.
that's unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Honestly, yep.
Say it again, Juice.
Unacceptable.
What?
It's
I thought you
ridiculous.
said punishing.
Whatever, punish him, man.
That sounded
He
like
needs to
a
go. He
Mortal
needs to
Kombat.
go. He needs to rot in a cell, man.
What Juice said.
For real.
Get him up out of here.
Oh man. So I'm really excited, man, about these matchups coming up, man. What you think about Michigan and TCU?
I think Michigan is a lot. I think Georgia is a lot.
Yeah.
I want TCU should be a lot, but
Right.
if TCU lose, follow the money, man. Ohio State gonna draw more than TCU. That is what it is. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you was on the,
Right.
if you were on a bowl committee, let's just say you had the Moores Outdoor Bowl, and TCU said, TCU said, well, we want to put our bid in to play against whoever, and Ohio State has a 1-loss record too, and Ohio State say, well, we want to come too. Who you think gonna bring more fans? Fort Worth, Texas, or Columbus, Ohio?
Man.
You know TCU.
Yeah,
Ohio
I
State
know.
they bring
I
in
know.
more.
I would hate to admit that. Yeah.
But I think TCU should be a lock. Look, they came back. It seemed like almost every week they was down by 3 touchdowns, and they came back and won every week. I feel like regardless of what happened against Kansas State, they should be in. But
Yeah.
they need to handle business because Ohio State
They do.
they on the outside looking in.
They really do. Yeah.
And if it's a chance, they could get a Ohio State versus Michigan national championship game.
Right.
That would be that. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
that mug would be that'd probably be the most packed
Exactly.
championship game ever.
So if I'm thinking like a producer, or if I'm thinking like the big dog that's running college football, I'm like, okay, let's just say TCU do slip up and lose, and let's just put Ohio State in this thing, and let's say Michigan beats the number 4 seed or whatever, the number 3 seed, and 2 versus 4 play each other in some kind of way, somehow. No, 1 and 4 would play in some kind of way. Ohio State mess around and beat Georgia, and they in the championship, and Michigan mess around and win, and there you go. That's big money. That's big money.
That's true.
So if I was running the bowl committee, I'd be trying to find a way to see if I can make that happen. And TCU better go handle business because get yourself out of here.
Nah, man,
I
it's
agree.
just annoying, man. Like when I was listening to Stephen A. Smith earlier, and he was talking about, he basically he was just saying, if TCU they had a good season, but they hadn't played anybody, blah blah blah, and just hyping up Alabama, and I'm just like, man, Alabama had their chance. Like
Yeah, they did.
they shouldn't have lost to Tennessee, and they shouldn't have lost to LSU.
No, they should
That
not.
should count for something. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
So
ain't nobody trying to hear nothing about no Alabama. I was all on Alabama. I was like, when the season first started, I was like, I don't see nobody beating Alabama after what happened to them last year, and they turning 8 returning starters on defense and all world Will Anderson. And you got Bryce Young. I didn't even mention Bryce Young. I was just giving them props off the strength of Nick Saban as a defensive-minded coach, and you got 8 returning starters and Will Anderson, who had 18, 19 sacks last year. I was thinking that defense was not going to be as good as Georgia, but it was going to be a struggle every week to score 21 points. And they blew it. So get them out of there. I don't care. They blew it. I don't want to see them in there this year.
They have no business being above Tennessee. Tennessee beat them.
Yep, they have no business being above Tennessee.
Whoa. Pause. Didn't Tennessee just get
It don't matter. It don't matter.
They played head to head, and Alabama lost. Tennessee should be.
That's how the rankings work, though, bro.
No, that's not. It don't matter.
So you telling me right now, if I beat you, and then I get ranked ahead of you, and then I go out and get beat by Greasy, and then you beat Juice, that means you keep going up.
It doesn't matter. I beat you.
It don't. Right. You can't pin me down up under you because you beat me.
I beat you. I mean, okay. So if we don't, what they always say, settle it on the field. I beat you on the field.
Hello.
That's it.
Right.
Okay. So, but we all know how college football is. If you're ranked number 3 and I'm ranked number 2, and you beat me, right? And you move up and I go down. And then I keep winning, and then you lose 2 more games, and you drop. You're gonna drop below me. You know that. You can't go on. You can't put me below Dre because I beat him. Hell no, you lost.
If we have the same record and I beat you head to head, there's no excuse. I don't care. I gave you one. I gave you one of your losses, regardless of who beat me. I put that L in your column. Get up out of here, man. I beat you.
So it sounds like what you're saying is Notre Dame would have never ever would have never even gotten in then, regardless of who lost or what, because I beat you. When Cincinnati.
Notre Dame was finished when they lost basically that second week after they lost against Ohio State.
Shoot, when they lost to Marshall.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Yeah.
For real. That was like, there's nothing to talk about because actually we talked about it and it was like, well, y'all, we don't have to talk about Notre Dame anymore this season. That's it.
Oh, I wasn't referring to this season. I was referring to the Cincinnati season. I'm just simply putting that it's all about when you lose, right? And if it's when you lose, if that's the true case, when you lose, it don't matter if I lose to you. You can't pin me down up under you and say, I should never be able to get ranked ahead of you because you beat me.
I don't think it's ever happened. Even when Bobby Bowden was losing national championships, they was losing wide left and wide rights to Miami, those games were pretty much early in the season. And if Miami went to South Bend and they lost against Notre Dame, which they did, and I think it was 88 and 90, but Miami beat Florida State in 88 and 90. Florida State never leapfrogged Miami, regardless.
Then too.
There was a different system. Okay. What has it happened after that? No, it's not. It's very rare that happens. Because if you start doing that, then there's no use in me. There's no use in us playing. What does it really prove? If I'm gonna play you every year and we're in the same conference, and it don't matter if we play each other, we might well take you off the schedule because it ain't gonna matter. What was the point in Tennessee getting all hype and playing Alabama for if they was gonna put Alabama over them anyways? And they put that L on their record. It kind of defeats the point. That's like saying if Michigan lose, then Ohio State could jump in and take the number 2 spot, and Michigan could possibly slide to number 4. Well, wait, hold on. Didn't we just go up there and put something on y'all? Didn't we just beat y'all by 20 in Columbus? Oh, it don't matter.
Right, because you didn't even play in your championship game.
Right. That's kind of like that would kind of like devalue the beatdown. That devalues the beatdown Michigan just put on Ohio State less than a week ago.
But here's
But
the
if they
problem.
lose against Iowa, okay, Ohio State, you can slide into number 2 now. Man, we just saw what happened 2 weeks ago.
I get what you're saying because it makes sense, but the problem is when they lost. So if I lose if Tennessee lost before, Tennessee lost twice before Alabama lost. So they had to drop them. So Tennessee had to drop. They lost that first game, boom, they dropped. Well, Alabama's still winning. So you saying
Tennessee?
oh well, you dropped down to 8. That means that means Alabama got to be 9.
Tennessee didn't lose until after they had already beat Alabama. Tennessee was undefeated. Alabama had already lost. Alabama had already lost. Tennessee was undefeated. Tennessee lost against Georgia, and then old boy got hurt, and then they lost that last game. Hooker, he got hurt. So Alabama had already had a loss on their record, on their resume. And Tennessee beat them. Yeah, it's now they start doing stuff like that, then yeah, it's gonna be a problem, man. That's gonna be a problem. I mean, that's gonna be a problem. It's like what we playing each other for? That's gonna be a problem. Like, why we playing each other? Like, seriously.
I don't really think it makes sense to even have these type of discussions, or these type of discussions shouldn't even be available. For the simple fact, no, seriously. You didn't play in your conference championship,
right?
Nor did you even. Well, first you didn't win. Number 2, you didn't even play in it. So teams like Ohio State and Alabama, you don't have an extra game, and
Right.
I don't believe idle teams should be able to move up.
Well,
I mean,
you know who started that? You know who found that loophole? Alabama. Alabama did. Alabama started that. It was 1 year. Alabama was undefeated, and they lost against Auburn in Iron Bowl. Auburn's like 9-2. Alabama's like 11-0. But Alabama saw, I think it was Georgia, either Florida on the other side in the SEC East, and they was like, I'm gonna go play them. You go play. Now, we already beat Georgia anyways. So Alabama basically took their foot off the gas, and I can kind of say, yeah, they let Auburn win the Iron Bowl. Anywho, Auburn goes to the SEC championship. Georgia beat them, but Alabama had already beat Georgia. And what Alabama was banking on was that Miami was going to lose against Clemson that year. And did Miami lose against Clemson? Yeah, they lost by like 3 touchdowns. Alabama got in the national championship game, and they won. So they found that loophole in there, not even make it to the conference championship. Now, when you start devaluing regular season games and the conference championship, yeah, college football gonna have a big problem. They're gonna have a big problem. So I wouldn't touch that. I'll let that be. If Michigan lose this week, Ohio State don't have no right to say that we're number 2. You just got your ass whooped, homie.
For real.
You just got your ass
Get it out.
Like,
Get it out.
Yeah, ain't trying to hear that, bro. Like, Michigan at no worst should fall to 4, assuming TCU wins. But no, Ohio State don't get the jump frog Michigan because they lost after Michigan. Yeah, they lost before Michigan, but Michigan just beat you by 25 points on your home. Oh, bro.
No.
I don't expect any surprises this weekend. It's like Georgia, yes, that doesn't matter. They could lose, that don't matter. Michigan's going to win. USC is going to win. TCU. So Ohio State, better luck next year. You should have handled your business.
That's
Alabama,
right.
I'm tired of all these scenarios. I've been hearing them for the past few days.
Right.
Forget it. It's over.
It's
It's
over.
over.
And
Yeah.
I don't even think, but y'all remember I said this. Think about it. I didn't even pick Alabama to win the SEC West. I picked Ole Miss.
hmm
And come to find out, go Tigers. LSU wins the West. And I think what is going on, this Alabama thing, it was beautiful. This is why Saban was so hot under the collar, getting into it with the coach at A&M and had something to say about it. It's all about this portal. It's all about this portal now. So all that does is just level the playing field. It's just like a salary cap in the NFL. When it hit, all right, everybody's on a level playing field now. And Alabama's not going to win the West next season. I'm going to say that right now because LSU is going to mature. They're going to get older. Ole Miss, same thing. Auburn just got it. Well, we're not even worried about that. But anyway, what I'm saying is we don't have to worry about Alabama again next season. It's over. I mean,
So
all
you
these
saying
little bandwagoners, y'all can go and take that, pull that off.
so you're saying that Saban's reign is at the end, like his dynasty's over. Now it's Georgia's taking, I guess. Is that what you mean? Or do you think it's wide open?
Not
It's
even-
wide open as far as West.
I think it's a dog. It's gonna come down to Ole Miss, LSU. I would say A&M, but we're gonna see what's gonna happen. I feel as if a lot of kids are gonna hit that portal and get away from A&M.
They
But-
already are. They are already losing recruits right now.
See what I'm
That's
saying?
what I've heard. Yeah.
They're not going to Alabama. I
Yeah.
guarantee you that. And now the kids are going to get a different flavor. If these four, TCU's going to pick up something.
Right.
Of course, Georgia's going to keep it going. Michigan. So these kids are going to see other places now. Who wouldn't want to go play ball in LA? Exactly. I think Doc touched on that earlier in the season.
Yeah.
About USC having something out that way. The nice weather, this and that.
Yeah.
The kids are going to go out there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was talking about. I was like, come on, bro, you got a hard time convincing me, other than NIL oil money, that somebody's gonna play football in College Station, Texas, over Los Angeles. Come on, man. College Station to play no football over no University of Southern California.
To be
Oh,
honest with
man.
you, Juice Man, it's
Yeah.
over. It's over.
It's over?
That rain is it.
Wow.
Like they say, good things must come to an end. It's over.
Yeah. You might be right, man. I don't know, man. You might be right. I have a feeling that Kirby Smart and the Bulldogs are on their way to, dynasty status. Especially
I
if
will
they
say
win,
this:
especially if they win it again.
the way Michigan looks and SC,
Right.
even TCU, we not talking. King brung up last season with the Cincinnati. We don't have a Cincinnati this year. We don't have a Conference USA or
Right.
All America, whatever conference they were from. We don't have that.
Yeah.
We have some bona fide teams in here,
Yeah.
and that's going to be a problem. It's going to be very interesting. Very. I mean, I love Michigan's chances, even TCU, and definitely USC's. If
Mhm.
it's not going to be a little cakewalk like Georgia had last year. Didn't Georgia play Cincinnati first round? Who did they play first round?
Michigan.
Oh,
They
my
played
bad.
Michigan first. Yeah. And it wasn't close.
And what was the other matchup? Alabama
It
and
was Alabama and Cincy. Wasn't it?
Cincinnati.
It was
See what I'm
Alabama and
saying?
Cincinnati. Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, with Michigan, they were just happy to be there because they
Right.
beat Ohio State last season. And
Yeah.
Cincinnati, come on now, come on.
Right. Right.
They wanted that matchup.
Right.
The Alabama and Georgia rematch. They wanted that, but you're not gonna
Right.
get it this
Mhm.
year. It's not
Right.
gonna happen. Now,
So
had LSU not fouled it up and LSU beat Georgia, they would have rearranged it to where the rematch would have taken place. But
Mhm.
right. So tell me a little bit about late up all night with the Don.
basically, up all night is just a breakdown of
Mhm.
Sunday's NFL action analysis. Going to be call-ins. Have people come on the show, discuss, give their opinion versus my opinion about what transpired and
Okay.
what to look forward from that particular team
Okay.
going forward. What to look for going forward with that particular team. Should be interesting. Coming to Studio 6. Yeah, it's gonna be a hard concept. It's gonna be a hard concept.
Looking forward to that. We got a couple of things we're gonna be working on, man. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking on jumping on that thing, man. I might have to pull off a New Year's Eve type thing where we jump on there like 11:30 to kick that thing off and go and bring in the New Year, man. That sounds like.
Oh, that would, yeah, that
Oh,
would
hold
be
on
cool.
now.
Hold on
It
now.
does sound like a winner.
Hold on now. Right.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
You sound like thing or well, I think actually New Year's is on a Sunday this year, so maybe New Year's night because most people, they celebrate the actual. Since it's on a Sunday, most businesses will be closed that Monday. You see what I'm saying?
That's
Mhm.
true.
So maybe that Sunday night we can jump on that thing, and then we got game heavy. I'm still in the. It's gonna be. I'm processing it right now. I'm processing it of exactly what I want to do. It's going to be sports. We're going to talk some sports, but it's going to be a little bit of different type of show. And this is all going to be under the No Outlet Network umbrella. So y'all just keep rocking with us. Stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? We're going to bring it. We're going to keep bringing it to y'all, man. Like I said, I'm looking at the numbers and stuff like that. And Anchor's always letting us know what we're doing. And we appreciate everybody jumping in and making it do what it do for sure. I do. I do.
Yeah.
I look forward to jumping on. I look forward to jumping on up all night with the dump and see what happens. I like that. I like that. I think
Yeah,
Might be
yeah.
slow music and
It's a-
lights dim.
It's got a nice ring. It's got a nice ring to it.
it really do. It really
Yeah.
do. That I'm
Yeah.
with it.
Good
That
idea.
I'm with it.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
with it for sure. I'm with it
Yeah.
for sure. But that's gonna put a. What did Chick Hearn say out there in Los Angeles? The butter, the Jello shaking, the butters and the what he say, Greasy?
Something like that is chilling or something.
The butter's cooling, the milk is chilling, the Jello is shaking. I don't know something like that. But I know Dandy
Yeah.
Dog Meredith on Monday Night Football used to say, "Turn out the lights, the party's over." They say that all good things must end. And that's gonna wrap it up for this episode, for sure. For sure. But you know what we do, you know where we at. That's Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. King Dre. Coach Dre had the dip. But this is Dr. Producer Greasy the Don and the Juice Man jumping in on short notice. Juice Man the Boogie. TV the Pope Man on the side with Big E. Big Kofi, everybody that jumped on, Candy Lynn, we're gonna have to jump back on that. Hey man, so the sad thing is college football is going to give us 5,000 meaningless bowl games until the national championship after this week. But the good thing is that the NFL playoffs kicking up. The World Cup is going on during the holidays. College basketball kicking up, and the NBA players eventually will start playing hard. It's kind of ironic. They'll start playing hard once they look at that March Madness tournament and see all these kids out there going 100 miles an hour and giving us good games. That's when they decide they're gonna play. But for right now, ain't nobody playing hard. Like the Lakers, like 8-11 or 8-12, and I've seen a couple Laker games, and you're gonna have a hard time convincing me the Lakers could easily be 15-6 right now. Easily. I didn't seen them lose 5 or 6 games where they was up 10, 12 points. So don't be fooled by none of this stuff. Them boys ain't out there playing hard, but them college kids, they going at it. I'm watching. I've been watching a couple of these tournaments and stuff, and like I said, Baylor got beat down, Creighton and all this stuff. So it's just a good time, and sports is all year round. The USFL rolling around. But we're gonna go ahead and slide. Just know a sports show. Y'all know where to check it. Y'all be easy.